All right. I'm going to go ahead and call the Town of Kingston Board of Selectmen meeting for August 19th to order, and we will begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And just a few announcements. This meeting is being recorded by the local scene. Anyone intending to make an audio or video recording of this meeting should notify the chair at this time. And seeing nobody. Financial assistance applications are available on the town's website or by calling the Selectmen's office. For anyone interested in volunteering, there are several vacancies on various committees and boards. To see a complete list of the openings, please visit our website at kingstonma.gov. Please check our website for any additional events or notices. Again, it's www.kingstonma.gov. At this point, we will move to open forum. If anybody would like to speak. Is there anybody online? I can't even see that. Okay. All right, seeing nobody. We had an appointment at 6 o'clock for a dangerous dog hearing, but those circumstances have changed, and that hearing is canceled. So moving on to additional items. Our first item tonight is the appointment of a veterans agent due to the retirement and resignations of 2 administrative assistants within the Veterans Department. The veterans agent position was advertised and interviews held. Keith, do you want to?
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chair. So a couple of things happened. We had our 2 veterans admins decide to retire. We looked at a couple of different options, potentially working with a neighboring community and forming a district. The neighboring community chose to go in a different direction. We also found out shortly after the resignation that the Veterans Administration had added a certification that was necessary for veterans agents to submit documents for reimbursement to the VA. Our two former admins did not have the background to do that. Den was a veteran, but there's a certification class that is needed. And you've got to be a veterans agent, not just an admin, to submit that documentation. In speaking to the town of Plymouth, who has been our veterans agent on our behalf, that we pay a small fee for on an annual basis, they were unable to provide and complete the paperwork that was necessary. So they were no longer going to be able to provide the support to submit claims to the VA because they're the one, the veterans agent was the one who had to complete the form. So we advertised for a veterans agent rather than an admin. We had a number of candidates apply for the position. We're ultimately making a recommendation to appoint Lisa Erickson to the position of veterans agent at a grade 5, step 4. It's $1,772, I believe, more than what we have in the fiscal 25 budget. But with the vacancy of the position from both Den and Priscilla, the money is there to cover that. She would start next Monday. She has started, and I believe is just about half done, the certification process through the VA. She'll be doing that she'll be finishing that in the very near future. I think she's a great candidate. She worked in the Veterans Office in the town of Carver most recently, and she is a veteran, so she is meets all the qualifications of the veterans agent position, and I think she'll be a great addition to staff.
Any questions?
Are we planning to replace the admin role in any capacity at this time?
No.
Okay.
All right, any other questions, comments, or a motion?
I can make a motion.
Sure.
I move that the Board of Selectmen appoint Lisa Erickson to the position of Veterans Agent, a Schedule D5, exempt position as part of the Wage and Personnel Bylaw, with an anticipated start date of August 26, 2024, consistent with the terms in the offer letter.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Yeah, we can do that. So we're going to just move number 4. We're going to skip over to number 4 right now, the appointment of a public safety dispatcher. We have a vacancy. Chief, do you want to tell us about that?
I'm pleased to introduce to the board Mr. Andrew Burke, sitting here in the handsome blue suit next to my assistant. He's currently working at BJ's Wholesale. He is an undergraduate student at my alma mater, Curry College, and he'll be strenuously encouraged to finish that degree while he's employed with the Kingston Police Department, hopefully. He was vetted by a committee of myself, Lieutenant Bateman, Deputy Fire Chief Hatch, and Dispatcher Michelle Beck. There were 3 finalists from a pool of 50 candidates, and it is a recommendation to the board that he be appointed to the position. And he's here if you have any questions.
Any questions, comments? No?
50 candidates, that's impressive.
Yeah, it is. Anyone want to make a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen appoint Andrew Burke to the position of Public Safety Dispatcher, a C3 Step 1 hourly position as part of Kingston Town Employee Union with an anticipated start date of August 26, 2024, consistent with the terms in the offer letter.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Welcome.
Welcome, yep.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All righty. Actually, if you want to stay up there, we're going to go back to number 2. Request from the police department to deem 2006 Mercury Mariner SUV hybrid as surplus.
It's broke, it's not worth fixing. It's cost prohibitive. It's been there and it's been an eyesore since the short time that I've been here from myself and everybody else. It's not a workable vehicle and it's cost prohibitive to try to repair that.
Okay. Any questions or comments? No?
I move the Board of Selectmen declare the Police Department's 2006 Mercury Mariner SUV hybrid as surplus and authorize the Police Department to dispose of the vehicle in the most cost-effective way possible.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Just stay right there. Number 3, this is police night. Request to use ARPA funds to purchase police items. So the chief is requesting authorization to use ARPA funds to purchase a few items. Chief, do you want to take it away?
Sure. So the items that we're purchasing, they're not wants, they're needs. You see the items in front of you. Some of it's for the Armory, some of it's basic safety equipment for police radios, body-worn cameras, electronic control weapons. We do not have, at this time, a portable breath testing device, which is one of the 4 NHTSA standardized field sobriety tests. So these are just basic things that we need. I discussed funding sources with Mr. Hickey. He recommended this, and respectfully request approval.
Any questions or comments from the board?
We have to use all the ARPA funds by year end or?
Year end, we've got, I believe after this $28,000, if it's approved, we've got $60,000 left. And I'll be coming back next Tuesday with potential use of some additional funds.
Okay. Did the schools do everything they need to for the HVAC? I know that's not.
We made those transfers last week.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
they're good to go, and not aware of any of the other needs that they have at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone want to make a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen approve the use of local ARPA funds no greater than $28,756 for the acquisition equipment listed shown in the agenda addendum to the Kingston Police Department.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, Chief. I think
Thank
we're
you all.
done. Thank you. All right, number 5, request to authorize Finance Director Kathleen Barrett to prepare and enter American Rescue Plan Act reimbursement requests with Plymouth County. The county requires that each community's governing body to appoint an employee to be authorized to submit ARPA reimbursement requests to Plymouth County.
Simply, it's just a simple housekeeping item. Our past finance director, Carol McCoy, was the previous authorized signer. With the hiring of Kathleen, we're asking the board to provide her the same authority that our previous finance director enjoyed.
Any questions or comments? Motion?
I can make a motion. I move the Board of Selectmen authorize Kathleen Barrett to prepare and enter information into the Plymouth County American Rescue Plan portal in support of 1 or more applications to Plymouth County for grants, ARPA grants, to be funded from a grant received by the Plymouth County under the American Rescue Plan Act.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Excellent. I don't think we have meeting minutes, do we?
Nope.
No. All right. Town administrators report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll try to make it brief. I watched the August 13th Water Commission meeting where the Water Commissioners discussed their proposed funding request for a new well on the former Kelleher property. The Water Commissioners intend to bring an article forward at the fall town meeting for the preliminary costs associated with designing a new well, but the funding for the new well will not be brought forward, at least at this point, until the spring 2025 town meeting. If the board is, and maybe this needs to be an agenda item, I'd like to frankly request the Water Commissioners reconsider that decision and try to bring it forward this fall. You know, there's current property owners who need water, who can't have it. We've got other property owners that are looking to either develop or redevelop their property that can't. We just passed this past spring a accessory dwelling unit bylaw that if a person has an accessory dwelling unit they want to bring forward, if it's a new unit, they can't connect to water. There's some real financial challenges that not being able to connect to municipal water brings, and I respect the Water Commissioner's decision, but I just want them to understand the impact that not having available water for new connections is starting to have on the community, unless the board is opposed to that. Thank you. So the town and school department staff met to establish a school zone for the Silver Lake campus. There's a placeholder on next week's board meeting agenda where we'll have a recommendation to create a school zone for Silver Lake with the help of the police department, the planning department, streets, trees, and parks, and in the fire department. We met with the superintendent's office and came up with what we believe is a school zone that will meet the intent of the state requirements. Valerie is looking at or working with an engineering firm to take a look at what's been proposed to make sure that it's kosher. There's some sign options that are available. Depending on what the board is looking for, they can be as expensive as $50,000 for solar signs, solar flashing signs, things of that nature. So the $50,000 obviously isn't budgeted for. We're 19 days into the new fiscal year. I think we're going to have a discussion about whether or not, you know, you want to go for a full-blown sign package, or there's something that could be as effective for.
We'll have more
lesser
information on
cost.
that for next week, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got a full estimate based on the types of signs, things of that nature. Again, the wastewater department is, the construction for the leaching field is well ahead of schedule, and that should be done certainly this fall. I included a design for a welcome to Town of Kingston sign. It's something that we've been talking about internally here and there. So the facilities and planning departments have been looking at different options. They actually brought what you have in front of you in my report forward to the planning board, and have been using them as kind of a soundboard on design and look. The planning board supports the design that you see in front of you this evening. What we'd like to do moving forward is bring this to the Board of Selectmen with some ideas of where we'd like to place these, and there's a couple of different options. This larger one for some of the spots at the edge of town, other smaller ones in other areas. Make sure the board's comfortable with that, and it'd be a project that would be ongoing over probably several years as money becomes available. We'll probably apply for CPC money and potentially some other local grant money to see if we can support the funding of these, to kind of brand the town of Kingston, so to speak. So all the town signs would be relatively similar as we work our way forward. We bring it forward to the Board of Selectmen either next week or September 10th. We're asking the board, if they're supportive of this, to approve it, so we can then go to the zoning board, because they're off-premise signs. So we want to follow our own guidelines, so we'll go to the zoning board and ask the zoning board for a waiver of the sign permits, but we want to have the Board of Selectmen's approval to use town property. So as the property owner, we'd be looking for the board, if you're supportive, to approve this, so we can bring that forward to the zoning board. On the personnel update, one of the van drivers for the Council on Aging, John Coombs, has decided to retire effective September 6th. And just a reminder to the board that the Kingston School Committee is going to be here next Tuesday night to interview and vote on school committee members, the vacancy that we have for the Kingston School Committee. Not sure if the board wants to expand that discussion while the Kingston School Committee is here to talk about upcoming budgets, issues that we're dealing with as a group, as a community, that both affect the town and the school, whether it be budget, the budget timeline, those types of things. And if there's an interest in doing that, if you can get that, whatever topics you'd like to discuss to me Wednesday-ish, so I can get them to the superintendent of schools, so with any backup you may have, if there is any, so the school committee's aware of the request to have this conversation and what the topics will be, so there's no surprises there. And then lastly,
Sorry, Keith.
I'm sorry.
What's the due date for people who wanted to apply for that opening for school
This
committee?
Wednesday. This
Wednesday,
Wednesday, I'm
okay.
not sure if there's a
4
time.
p.m.,
I think it's
I think
4
you said?
o'clock on Wednesday, but if anybody has any questions on the time, they can check the website. If they can't get to the website, if they call the Selectmen's office, we'll be happy to share it with you.
And we were clear. It's definitely before 4 p.m. on Wednesday,
We
I'm
were
pretty
clear,
sure.
either hand-delivered or sent, or brought to, or emailed to the Selectmen's office.
Got it. Thank you.
And lastly, Conservation Agent Matt Pennell and I have asked to meet with the Brockton mayor. We're going to meet with him on Friday. The topic of our conversation is Brockton's withdrawal of water from Silver Lake. There's been some concerns that were raised by Matt to me last week, where Brockton is withdrawing far greater water than they're supposed to be. Silver Lake is down about 2 feet. The concern that some of our conservation people in town have is that some of the fish aren't going to be able to swim to the ocean this fall because the water levels won't be high enough. So we'd like to at least have a conversation to try to collaboratively try to address the issue that Kingston's having. And if we're successful, fantastic. If we're not successful, we may come back to the board and look at some different options that could be available to us to try to have Brockton comply with the agreement that's been put in place. Matt has reached out to DEP. Unfortunately, they seem a bit hesitant to want to enforce the agreement that's been put in place. So we're trying to work collaboratively. We're trying to deal with this as best we can. But it is an issue that Matt raised. I think we need to deal with it, and the mayor has been kind enough to see us this Friday morning. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. It's now 6:19. I think I had the over.
That would explain why you talked for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Any questions or comments? No?
No.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Any selectmen comments? Missy, we'll start with you, if you have anything.
Yeah, just a reminder that we have music night tomorrow, Grays Beach, 6 o'clock.
Excellent.
Can I just thank everyone for National Night Out? I heard it was
Yes.
fantastic, and everyone always does such a great job, especially Laura's back there. So just want a special thank you to Laura for all of the work that she puts into it, and
Absolutely.
thank you to everyone who
Yeah.
came.
Don, anything?
Nothing.
All right. Nothing for me. There will be doing this again a week from tomorrow on August 27th. As Keith said, we'll be meeting with the school committee as well as our regularly scheduled meeting. We probably have quite a few things to talk about. All right.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. See you next
What time is
week.
it?